Hello, good morning to all. Welcome to today's Alumni Career Talk. So now I request Dr. Jasmine ma'am, HOD CSE, to address the gathering. Madam, please.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, all. Yeah, I take this opportunity as a privilege to welcome you all for today's session. On behalf of Adi Shankara Institute of Science and Technology, I'd like to welcome today's guest, alumni 2012-16 batch, Mr. SAITEJA. He is working as a cloud engineer, Amazon Web Services in Texas. I take this opportunity to welcome Mr. SAITEJA for today's session. Welcome you, and I welcome all the participants, faculty members, and any other registered members for today's session. With his hectic schedules, he is spending his valuable time for us to share on career opportunities and what is next, what are the opportunities that are going to be available for all the students. I'm glad to share with you that the Department of CSE has enriched with 2 more new courses on artificial intelligence as well as data science. These 2 words, we are hearing these 2 words from the past so many years. These are the buzzwords: artificial intelligence and data science, AI, data science, data analytics, machine learning, speech and language processing, data mining, all are interdisciplinary fields. We are glad that we have 2 courses on emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and data science. Industry is looking for the professionals who are equipped with advanced technologies like data science and artificial intelligence. And we are proud to have such 2 new courses. And the Department of CSE has enriched with five sections, 3 in computer science and engineering core discipline, and 2 advanced technologies. And the industry is looking for computer science and engineering graduates at present. We are ready to give all inputs for our students to enrich not only in core areas in advanced technologies as well as in programming skills. Programming is much important. Python, R programming, all these programming languages have been introduced in this new technologies. I thank Mr. SAITEJA for coming, for spending his valuable time to online to guide all our students, to guide where the opportunities are there, how the students can grow, how the students are going to grab the opportunities after completion of graduation. I welcome you all for today's session. Thank you all. And one more thing, if the participants have any queries, you can post your queries on the chat box so that the guest can answer properly. Thank you all. Welcome for today's session.
Thank you, ma'am. So now I request SAITEJA to take over the session.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the kind words, ma'am. To start with, I would like to thank all the people who have given me this chance, Rajesh sir, Sharma sir, and everyone. And let's start the session. So the basic agenda of this session for today is to give the awareness of what are all the options that are available after the 3rd and 4th years when you come out of the college as a CSE graduate with just a graduate degree, how to go about it, how to conquer the job world right now, and what if you want to study, what are the paths available if you want to study, and everything else. I'd like to thank also the chairman sir and everyone for not only this session, providing all the students with all the sessions that have been completely being done from homes over the Zoom. So this is a really good opportunity for the students to get all the information they can. I would also really like to try give all the information I can. So let's start the session. I'll be sharing the slides right now. Please let me know if you're able to see the slides. So to start with, I'm SAITEJA Pudi. I'm an alumni of computer science and engineering, class of 2016. Right now I work as a cloud engineer in Amazon Web Services in Dallas, Texas. So I did tell you that I currently work as a cloud engineer, right? So before that, I was here to get my master's in computer science as well. So I'm a bachelor's in computer science and a master's in computer science. So let me start this session by saying that I'm not sure if you guys know or not, people have this view on CSE that it's like not a lot of people wants to do CSE, but eventually everyone is going to come for jobs of CSE people. Basically చెప్పాలంటే నేను CSE తీసుకున్నప్పుడు కూడా I remember a couple of questions from couple of people. So ఇట్లా నిజంగానే would you want to like take CSE and carry on like did you choose this as a career option and అవన్నీ గురించి. కానీ I did choose this as a career option. I did choose CSE because of my own interest. I had the option to take ECE and any other course I wanted, but so people has this view on CSE. But the thing is, even ఇప్పుడు ECE చేసిన AAA చేసిన everyone who's in any branch in Bachelor of Technology is coming after your jobs, coming after our jobs. CSE లో ఉండే jobs కోసమే they are eventually they are ending up in somewhere in the CSE job. So as being a CSE graduate, మనము so if someone is in ECE, they'll have the competition from other ECE graduates. Likewise for people in AAA, they'll have the competition from other AAA graduates. But నేను ఇందాక చెప్పిన విషయం వల్ల everyone is coming after our jobs, and CSE graduate అవడం వల్ల you will have the competition from all the branches of this discipline, and every other discipline is going to come after your jobs. So ఒకసారి మా CSE degree అయిపోయాక after your like BSc BTech CSE degree, if you just come out with just the degree and no other skill, there's a 98% chance that it will be hard for you to get a job or be confident in getting a job. And basically the other 2%, God knows who like gets the job as soon as they can. So after BTech, I assume that all the students here are in third year and fourth year. So these are the career options basically. So ఇప్పుడు కానీ మీరు ఆల్రెడీ CSE BTech థర్డ్ ఇయర్ లో ఫోర్త్ ఇయర్ లో లేకుండా ఉండుంటే, if you are not already in a CSE degree, in the course of getting a CSE degree, there would have been a lot more options. I would have also like started from you can pursue other things as a career. You can try for all the government jobs, and you can write or go into civil services and all that. But as I've been talking from beginning, so if as I chose this as a career, I came into this CSE degree after choosing this as a career. I wanted to do something in the field of computers and all that. So మీరు కూడా అందుకే తీసుకొని ఉంటారు. So CSE degree అని I'm assuming that, and so these will be the options if you really want to go in this path and continue in this path after getting your BTech degree. So BTech tarvata there are options to get a job, or if you want to study more as I did, you can. So first we'll talk about the options in getting a job. So I don't think so. At this point of time, getting a job after your CSE degree is not that hard. Anyone who have the basic understanding of what the degree does and what the roles will be really successful in getting a job. But ask yourself a question, that you really want to pick a career or a job or a 9 to 5 job. So when you talk about a career or a job, there are three kinds of like basic companies that you can work for. One, the consulting firms, something like Tata Consultancy Services, TCS is a consulting firm, CTS is a consulting firm, and all the companies who hire you and make you work for the other companies is a consulting firm. I also did start my career after masters with TCS, which is a consulting firm. And yeah, it's always good to start somewhere. You can't really hit a jackpot right by the time you start, but consulting firm jobs are merely in my opinion are 9 to 5 jobs. You can't have that kind of career progression which you have in a service based or a product based firms. So service based firms, um, they don't sell products, but they offer services to customers. So in the uh, as if they want to offer the services, they'll hire you and make the work that will let them offer the services they need. For example, banks like Citibank. I briefly worked as a software engineer for Citibank. So product based firms. So this is where you really see that career progression you want. If you want to hit it big and you want to do something, and if you want to uh, uh, see a change in something you have been doing, and see a change in some of the products they're working on, this is where you need to work. Example firms are Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, and yeah, a couple of them. If you want to study more, there are a couple of options. You can get an MBA, you can get an MTech, or you can get a master's. We will talk about that later, but getting a job itself has become a big deal because of the limited resources maybe we have, or maybe not enough planning, not enough idea on how to start preparing and how to really crack interviews basically. So when to start is a question. I want to want to ask everyone themselves, because when you are in third year or fourth year, this is a very good time to start. Basically, I would recommend people not just starting to prepare to crack a job. Start to get the skills that you need. Basically, you always need to look from a very low level. Um, try different coding problems. Look at different coding sites and all that stuff. The minimum also you can do, what you can do is just do what your professor in C tells you to do. If someone from someone that teaches you C language or Java language wants you to write a program or try some program, just give you 100%. I would always recommend people to give their 100% in whatever they do. So it doesn't really matter what they pick and do, they'll eventually succeed at it. So for giving you an example, after I chose CSC, right? I did not like do coding no time before that. So the first time I wrote code was in the C language class. It was taught by Shovar Ma'am. So she was really good at it. She has taken my interest in coding to the next level. So just by following what she said and just by following the curriculum, and always dig deep. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to go after someone to get the answer you need. Those are the couple of things I would always advise people to do. So when to start is really relative from person to person. So I would always want you guys to start as early as possible. So basically, as a CSE degree student, start whenever you can, whenever possible. Do whatever you can. Read articles about it, write programs, write code. And if you want to be a developer, obviously you have to write code. But there are also other disciplines that a CSE graduate can do. He can be a business analyst who can get all the requirements and get the work done in the form of developers or a team. He needs to guide the team on the basic requirement of the product and stuff like that. And business analyst can lead to be a product manager, or he can be a program manager. And there are a lot of career paths if you dig deep and go in that path. And you can also be a design engineer per se. You can also be a UX engineer, UI engineer. There are a lot of stuff people can do. And the only basic thing that I have seen in all these professions when pursuing a CSC, a computer science career, is you have to be logically correct. You have to get hold of the critical thinking. You have to think logically and try to solve problems all the time. So yeah, one basic and most important thing for a CSE graduate is you have to solve problems. Whether it's a coding problem, it's a design problem, it's a business problem. The main reason anyone would hire you is only because you can solve problems, and that's what you need to learn from the beginning. Start to look at problems at a very low level, and always try to shoot at the solutions. How to prepare? As I've been telling all this long, it's never too late to start preparing. Even for people in final year, they can start preparing right now. It's no big deal. Nothing has been late. So you have a lot of time. You can start getting the basic idea of all the data structures, all the algorithms, and all the different techniques in problem solving and algorithmic solving, like dynamic programming, graph theory, and all that stuff. So I would want to recommend sources like medium.com. People can note it down. I can also put it in the chat. Medium is a place where you find different kind of articles, computer science articles. I guess, and I hope everyone would have at least seen it already. If so, you're already in the right path. I would want to want you guys to hit websites like HackerRank, LeetCode, and do as many coding problems as possible. How to crack? This is a really tricky question. Being a CSE graduate and being successful in your job hunt is really two different things. Someone can be really good at their work, their concepts and everything, and they would not be able to crack the job sometimes. Someone would be very bad at all the concepts and stuff, and they can prepare and just crack the job and get into it. So these are really two different things. So even if you know all that you can and all that you know already, I would always recommend people to start preparing for a job when they have an interview or something like that, or a talk with the manager or someone. So you can always go into career sites. You can look at the reviews. You can look at what they generally ask about, and you can always prepare very specific to a particular position or a particular job. So if if you choose to look for a job, so these are the options we usually have. So LinkedIn is a very good option. So even if you're not looking for a job, I would recommend people to go on to the LinkedIn, be active on LinkedIn, and show themselves to the world, introduce themselves to the world. మిమ్మల్ని మీరు ఒక కార్పొరేట్ వరల్డ్, ఒక ప్రొఫెషనల్ వరల్డ్కి పరిచయం చేసుకోవడానికి LinkedIn is a very good option. Keep writing blog posts, keep writing articles, keep posts. I would really say posting on Facebook is not at all important. If you can, please do spend the time in LinkedIn and do that post in LinkedIn. That would be really, really helpful for you professionally going forward. So, and I've been telling you that you can go into the job boards and look at particular companies reviews and questions they ask. That you can do in Glassdoor. Glassdoor is a very good resource to get specific information about a company or a position or an interview question or all that stuff. దాంట్లో మీకు salary ఎంత ఇస్తారు, what are the questions you can expect, a position ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది, company ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది. So along with getting a job and doing a job, quality of life is also important. So Glassdoor అనేది it concentrate more from that point and or that perspective. So వాళ్ళు, how about the quality of life in that company also, people may have given a lot and lots of reviews in there. So the others, Indeed, Naukri.com, Monster.com. So I haven't really like used Indeed, Naukri, or Monster. I haven't really worked in India, but LinkedIn and Glassdoor have been really helpful for me, really, really helpful for me. So while I was searching for a job after my master's, I used to like reach recruiters of different companies in LinkedIn and be active, keep looking for job openings and all that stuff. And if I have an interview at all, I used to go to Glassdoor, make a list of all the information that I get on Glassdoor and start preparing for that specific position or that specific company. So it's always important to prepare for a specific position. If you have time, I would even recommend creating resumes based on a position or a particular company, directed directly towards a particular company. So it would be really helpful going forward in your job hunt. So this is something about what you can do while searching for a job and looking for a job. Kind of company doesn't really matter when you're going for the first job, but I would recommend once after going into the job, don't settle down. Always look out for opportunities, always try to progress, always look to have that graph going up in your career path. Okay, so if at all you wanted to study after BTech, so if you feel like I think I don't want to work already, I think I want to study more, I think I want to get more information, and maybe if I can hit it big, I will with some more knowledge in my field of study. Then these are your options. You can get an MBA, Master in Business Administration. You can get an MTech, Masters in Technology, or an ME, Masters in Engineering, or an MS, like I did, Master of Sciences. I really can't talk much about MTech or MBA. The only things I can say is for MTech, you have to go through GATE examination, and for MBA, you have to write CAT. A little suggestion here is if you guys are planning to get an MBA, or if you are interested in getting an MBA degree, I would always recommend to first work for a little bit and then go into MBA, because Master of Business Administration is what that takes you to the next level. You have to first understand the small elements of the business by working as a developer or something else. Just a minute. Okay. So you have to look from the basic perspective. You have to first work as an engineer or whatever it is. And then you have to, like, when you start thinking of advancing to that next role of a managerial role of a like a manager or a development manager or stuff like that, program manager, product manager, whatever it be, managing role. That's when I'd recommend people to get into getting an MBA. Master of Engineering, um, it depends really on your interest on advancing your knowledge in your field of study. And the third option I spoke about was getting a Master of Science. Um, I'd really think that most of the guys here, most of the people here are because um, they need the knowledge to what are the options that they can, or what's the path that they need to take to get a Master of Science. Like MS in US is normally how it's said, but this is not the only option. This is the path I took, so I'll be talking about this a lot more than the rest of the things. So when to start? Again, um, no time is too late. No time is early. You can start as soon as you get into your bachelor's. Um, I remember even now starting to get information in my second year of bachelor's, and I finally started preparing in my third year of bachelor's. So if I'm not wrong, yeah. So when to start is related to people. If you want to get an admission as soon as you get out of your bachelor's degree, um, I recommend, I always recommend people to start as soon as possible. Third year, second sem is a really good time to start. That's when I started. But I have seen people doing it in the final semester or fourth year, first semester or stuff like that. So it really depends how to prepare. So before going into all this, I mean, about this topic, I'd really want to share a lot of my experience, because I really want to know how I arrived at the information I had at that time, without a lot of information that's been available for a lot of people in cities and stuff, but not us and not me specifically at that time. So yeah, how to prepare is again, uh, as soon as you can, start getting information. That's the first step for preparation, that I may say. When I was in my second semester, I started looking out for information, and it took me close to 2 semesters to at least arrive at some kind of information to start preparing and start looking at the path that I dreamed about. Um, right now, there are a lot of online resources that you can look at. Um, First, know what you want to do. If it's masters that you want to get, look for the eligibility criteria. Look for the examinations that you need to take. So you need to take a GRE, and you need to take an TOEFL or an IELTS exam. GRE is the exam that calculates or judges you based on your quantitative, qualitative analysis and logical thinking. IELTS is the exam that examines you for your English speaking abilities. So for even in GRE, there is a verbal section. That's one of the hardest exams that I've written. So for both of that, I used to read novels from my second semester. I used to carry a book with me, novel with me, and I used to read a couple of pages whenever I get time, even in college. I used to make use of my lunch breaks and intervals. And for the GRE, I took a course in Hyderabad, and again, that information is not readily available for me at the time. I had to bug a lot of people to get that. The main reason being there's not a lot of people choosing this path, and also there's not a lot of people wanting to pursue masters. And I remember, if I remember correctly, there's only one guy from EC that had this idea at this time, and we used to bug all the people we can to get all the information. So yeah, so I took the GRE class in Hyderabad. They did a really good job in getting me all the resources. They gave the material and all that stuff. They prepared me well. So I think by the end of fourth year, first semester, I had given both my GRE and IELTS. So after you give both your exams that's needed for masters, I suggest you to start looking for what universities you want to apply. Um, so how to choose university is the next question I want you to ask yourself. So after you give your GRE and IELTS, based on the scores you get in GRE and IELTS, there is a list of like an extensive list of universities available online. You can hit them up. You can look over it, go through it. Based on the score you get in GRE, you can select the universities. Don't just blindly pick the universities just based on the score you got. Just ask this question: why am I going to the university? Is there a specific course that I like at this university, or a specific program that I like at this university? By program, I meant you can do masters in computer science, masters in information technology, masters in data science, masters in engineering management, masters in um, information security, and masters in artificial intelligence, and masters in machine learning. So there are multiple programs that a university can host. So please do your use your due diligence and do your background homework. Look for programs that a university offers. Look around the web for all the information the web provides you about the universities or the program or the course itself. It can be really useful. And yeah, so after you like choose a university by looking at all the options available for you, liking a course, and you have to really think that this is what I want to learn. This is what I want to be doing after I'm done with my studies. So that's when you have to make the choice of picking a university. After that, when you have all the documents ready, you need all the transcripts from university. By university, I meant from our college. Um, your GRE scores. You need letters of recommendation from your professors, from your lecturers, from your HODs, whoever it might be, whoever you have access to. Get the letters of recommendations, and you can search all these words as is online. Um, and also you need to have a statement of purpose. Statement of purpose is a really important and very crucial part of your master's application. So once you start applying for universities, and they would definitely ask for letters of recommendation and statement of purpose. And I'm not sure if a lot of people know about this, and we have a very and really, really good resource, and I'd recommend 110%. We have really good resource in our college. Hare Krishna sir, I'm not sure if he's still with us. So he's a really, really good resource for getting your statement of purpose. And I got my statement of purpose done by him. And that has been really helpful. Um, I really, I mean, think that he has, I mean, a lot of command on the language, and he can be really helpful. And if I'm not, so this comes as a recommendation to our college, maybe the HOD ma'am or the Dean sir, Rajesh sir, and whoever is in charge or whoever has the power. Um, if you can form a club, something like a club with Hari Krishna sir leading it, who has the ability to provide that SOPs to people looking out for Masters of Science, who can have this all the process documented somewhere, so that people who has this idea can directly go to them as a one-stop shop for everything that needs to be done if they need to get a master's and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be really helpful for students. If you can, yep, that would be a really good thing. Which course to pursue is really, again, relative. What Ask the question what you want to do after you're done with your degree. I, for one, cannot ask you to do something that you don't have interest in. I really want to encourage people to always do what they're interested in. Always do anything that you want with willingness to give your 100%. I have done everything that I've done until now in the same way. I have given my 100%. I have always liked what I am doing, and I wasn't I wasn't a really nerdy guy. I wasn't a really good student as well, but I was always giving my 100% to whatever I liked and whatever I wanted to do, and I think that really helped my path a lot. The pros and cons. So the pros of getting a master's, you will get enough knowledge to get a good command on the field of study that you are in. One of the other pros, you come to United States and you'll get access to job market in United States, which is a really big deal. There are lots and lots more opportunities here than you can even think of. We use a lot of technologies that are not even available, or not even companies use in India. That's partly because a lot of systems in India are still even legacy systems, and to really move from legacy systems to newer systems, companies are not willing to spend much capital into India, at least not until a couple of years ago. But yeah, job market in US is really good, and you'll have access to it if you come from Master of Sciences like MS in US. And one more really good advantage I can say is you get to really experience what life is all about. You get to live on your own. I have never been living out of my house until I came here, and I really learned a lot. And I can definitely say that this experience have definitely given me a new perspective of what are the things that are important, what are the things that I need to take care of going forward. So the cons or disadvantages of Master of Science, I don't really think there's a disadvantage. It's always related to people. If people really don't want to spend money on getting the education they need, it's definitely not for them. So it's really not a disadvantage, but it's definitely relative to people. And one disadvantage I would say is you have to leave your family, and you have to come out of your comfort zone. Leave your comfort zone, and you have to um, start conquering both your personal life and professional lives at the same time. Yes, just a minute. I've just been checking the chat. I think I have shared all the information I can. So now is the time to ask any questions, queries that you have. I really wanted this to last so long rather than just giving me the information. Okay, so I'll start taking the questions in the order they came in. Hello, Saitija, glad to see you as a guest. Thanks, ma'am. Will I still get a job if I had spent 1 year after BTech roaming the country and working as a freelancer? So if you really want to roam the country, just don't try to include that in the resume. Just try to include what you have worked on, what are the technologies you worked on. So basically, when getting the job, it only boils down to only one thing. What are the skills you have? Did you have the skills? Do you have the skills that are required for that particular role? Can you give you 100% for the role? If you see yourself in that role, would you really be able to work in that without any problem? So that's all that matters. Right now, companies are thinking way ahead. They're not anymore looking just for people with degrees, and they also came to know that people with degrees can't really work all the time. So yeah, until and unless you don't have any skills, you're not doing anything and just roaming the country, no one can get you a job or get you into a company. But wherever you are, just if you're putting your time and best effort in gathering the knowledge and doing all the freelance stuff you can, which is related to the career path you want to take, it doesn't really matter. You can just find a job anytime you want. Next question, can we have some info about the scope of RPA in future and what if we choose it as a career option? So to really answer this, first we need to look at the pace at which the technology is changing. So while I was starting my bachelor's, I did not hear the word RPA, to be really honest. And people are just coming out of the comfort zone to start using cloud. Cloud is just a buzzword by then, and not a lot of people know about it. And people used to talk about it, but when it comes to execution, no one knows what to do. But I think it's been 7 to 8 years, and there's a lot of revolution that came in cloud. Why in my during my bachelor's, I guess IBM Bluemix was a big player in the cloud, if I remember correctly, and AWS was just starting to get started, and they did not have a large clientele base or anything else. But fast forward 8 years, everyone is using cloud, everyone wants to use cloud, everyone wants to know what cloud is, and whatever they want to migrate into cloud, they want to do it as soon as possible. And AWS has been the big player in cloud for the last couple of years, and then new players came in. Microsoft Azure starting to build its services really quick and really good, and GCP is coming into the game. GCP is Google Cloud Platform, that's coming into the game, and IBM has a cloud service, and every big player is coming to the cloud. So we really can't predict what's going to be coming in the next 10 years. So to really answer your question, RPA seems like a really a good option at this point. But the only thing I can say about RPA is I'm not really sure how far the automation is going to take you. AI is going to challenge you until and unless RPA merges into AI and machine learning. Just an RPA looks like a good option now, and it is right now. There's a lot of job openings and everything else. But again, one thing is RPA is a tool. So if you learn that tool, you can work in that tool only until it's in demand. So after that's gone, your career is gone. So the only thing I'd recommend is try to choose career options in technologies rather than tools that would give or your career long lasting effort. Okay, so the next question, I hope I answered the question, Praveen. And next question from Lakshman. I'm learning AWS and also planning for AWS certifications. Is it really helpful for freshers, and how you get placed into AWS engineer? So AWS again is a buzzword right now. It's really hot right now. And one thing about AWS is a lot of big, large service-based companies is already using it. And I work in AWS, so we have a very large client base. No one is going out of AWS anytime soon. So if you learn AWS, it will be really helpful. And AWS certifications can get you some very good jobs, very good opportunities, and some very good pay as well. That I can definitely assure, and that too only for the next 10 years. After that, no one knows what happens. So yeah, to definitely answer your question, AWS certification really help. Not just certifications, try to do projects. So for all of you asking the questions, I would always recommend doing projects rather than just getting the certifications and just be done with it. Get the certifications, do the projects, get the understanding at a very basic level, go into the networking stuff and all that. That would be really helpful. Next question. And how you get placed in AWS? Okay, I got the contact of a recruiter from one of my colleagues, and I literally emailed him saying, this is what I do right now in TCS. This is what my skills are. I came across this opportunity. I'm interested. And what are my options getting in? I literally emailed them directly, and things like that do work. And even for you, I'd recommend reaching out to recruiters directly over the LinkedIn, or if you get hold of their email IDs, I'd really want you guys to very professionally email them and ask about opportunities. Or if you come across an opportunity, directly give the job ID and ask them if I'm suitable, I have the skills, I'm interested. And the most basic and valuable skill you may have for any job is your interest in it. So start with getting interest into stuff and learn it. And yeah, you can be successful. So next, next question from Nikhil's side: does competitive programming important? In every technology we learn. What is your master's journey after BTech? So competitive program, if you look really close, that does not depend on a technology alone. So solving a problem is really different from learning a technology. So you do competitive programming to get that idea of how to solve a problem, and that's all. You can choose any language or any technology to do competitive programming. You can use Python, you can use Java, you can use JavaScript, whatever you can. You can use Go language and all that stuff. And I'm not sure if a lot of people knows, but all the top tier fan companies are Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. All these companies only look at your programming ability. They don't even care about what language you use. They only give you a problem and they want you to solve it. So doing casual competitive programming is always good and always recommended. And what technology you choose basically depends on your interest in it, or your um, comfort in it. So my master's journey, um, I started preparing in third year, second semester. Um, the support I got from all my staff, Sharma sir, everyone, my HOD, and they were very supportive. They gave me all the letters I needed. I ran to English sir, Harikrishna sir, for the SOP. He prepared it in a couple of days and gave it to me. And so that's how it started. In 3.2, I started preparing. By 4.1, I had both the scores, GRE and IELTS. I started picking the colleges and applying for them. And also, in between all this, I had to attend job interviews. I really didn't want to, but um, but it was really funny. My dad wanted me to like get a job, so I got a job in Emphasis, but I did not really like give attention to it a lot. And that's for one day I prepared and all that. And after that, before my 4.2, I guess I had all the um, invites from all the universities that I applied to. I applied for around 7 universities. I got admits from 6 universities, I guess, if I remember correctly. I got admit from RIT, NJIT, UT Arlington, UNT. I'm not sure about the other two, but yeah. So after I got the admits, I chose a university based on my interests. I wanted to study like databases in depth. So my university at the time was top in databases and basically social database in the sense databases that are being used by social platforms like Facebook and all that stuff. So I chose UT Arlington, and after that I applied for visa. I got the visa. I booked the ticket. I came here. Masters was a little harder than I expected. I had to put in a little more effort than in BTech. As I said, I was never really a diligent student or a really a nerd. I mean, I was nerd technically. I was a technology nerd while I was in BTech, but I wasn't the kind of student that always studies everything time to time and all that stuff. But I still did manage to get a good GPA in my BTech. And also, I forgot telling you guys this. Always try to give importance to your BTech degree, BTech subjects. Try to pass them in the first go. I've seen people failing subjects and eventually failing to get the degree. By God's grace, I have never failed a subject in BTech, touchwood. And that really helped. That did not come as an obstacle for me because of that. So After coming to masters, it was a little harder. I had to put in a lot of effort. I had projects in every course I did. At one point of time, I was doing 3 projects for 3 classes I had. Again, I had to do all the paperwork for my immigration status. I had to manage all the um, uh, money. I have to pay fees and all that stuff. Once I was done with my masters, I had to apply for OPT. OPT is a work permit that US gives you after you are done with your masters, so that you can work after it without a visa. So I had to apply for OPT. While I was in my OPT, I got an opportunity in TCS as a software engineer. I worked on microservices, Java, Spring Boot, and all that stuff. APIs to be really specific, REST APIs. While I was in there, I applied for. I mailed the recruiter in Amazon, and I got that opportunity, and I moved to Amazon. And it has been a really wonderful journey until now, and I hope it stays the same going forward. So, can a person who once worked in a BPO and at the same time had developer skills for a full stack developer get job without experience? That really depends. It's from KAI. I'm not sure how it can be spelled. So yeah, um, it definitely depends on how you put out yourself. So if you show the recruiter that you have been working in a BPO and all the work that you have been done, you have done for the last 1 year or so is just attending calls, no, you're not going to get into any job. But if you put out yourself in the best way possible and you can show all the skills, you have the competitive programming score or something, you have the profile created in sites like that, and you have the profile with all the things you did and all that stuff, and if you can prove to the recruiter that you have really done something and you have the skills to take on this job, and at least the only thing you have to have at the point while reaching a recruiter is the you have to let him, make him believe that you can have a chance at the interview. You can take the interview, and after getting into the interview, it's your part to crack the interview. So that's your answer right there. How is the future for DevOps? Future for DevOps. DevOps people are not going anywhere anytime soon. So the only thing I would say as a disadvantage for DevOps is in top tier companies, a lot of developers themselves will do the operations. So DevOps came as a profession for the same reason. Developers need to do the operations, and there should be no one hired extra for that operations work. Operations work is nothing but when you deploy the code, deploy a project, and you have to do all that bug fixes and all that stuff. You shouldn't need to hire anyone extra for doing that job. So companies came out this position role called DevOps, who develops and also manages the operations. So you should be able to develop stuff, and also you should be able to take the operation stuff. You should be able to write the code, deploy the code, fix any bugs if it comes in the code while deployment and stuff like that. So right now the opportunities are really huge in DevOps, and also I don't see it going anywhere in the next 5 to 10 years. So it is a really good path to follow. And what do you think about other alternatives like MBA, MTech in IITs due to financial situations? Also explain your financial situations in masters. Yeah, so in IITs, I guess if you manage to get a seat in IIT, in MBA, MTech, whatever it is, I guess government pays a part of it, right? So it shouldn't be a problem. based on the financials, but it really depends from person to person. If you can manage is what I suggest. If you can manage, go for it, but don't push for it. If you can't manage, you can always work and go back to studying at any time. So it's never late to get back to studying. My financial situations, it was okay in masters. My father paid for it. He really helped me in getting that master's degree, and after I got a job, I was able to pay him back. So when you are confident enough that you can return the deed back to whoever helped you, you can always go for it and get that degree that you wanted. So RPA is useful or not? Um, so I think that's really a half-cooked question. RPA is a tool again. So if you really want that as a part of your job, it's definitely useful. For your future, no one can really answer it, because we don't know for the in the next 10 or 15 years it's going to be there or not. So but right now RPA is a really good tool. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, but I don't see a very good future for it after 5 to 10 years. But again, that's my take on it. That's my personal opinion. So I think we are well over our allotted time of 1 hour. I would want to. Okay, question from, I got a job in CTS and want to improve and get into product-based company. That's a really good way of looking into it. I'm happy for you that you got a job in CTS. That's a really good starting point. The only one thing I would recommend is don't relax while working as a software engineer or whatever in CTS. Don't relax, never relax. Always look for opportunities. Always look for things you can improve. Always keep looking out for opportunities outside. Those are the 3 things. So do your job, do your 9 to 5 job in CTS. Do competitive coding. That's one thing I recommend. Get a feel of all the data structures and all that you can. And yeah, you can do it. I wish you best of luck. Is it good to do MS in AI? So I would recommend asking that question to yourself, whoever it is, 542. Is it good to do MS in AI? Do you really want to do it? Do you really want to do MS in AI? Do you know what AI is? First, look for answers for these questions, and I hope that you find the answer for this question. Then I'd always recommend doing your own research in things like this. I personally don't think artificial intelligence is logically possible. I 100% support machine learning, which is a base for artificial intelligence. So first ask questions like if you really want to do masters, and then if you really want to do masters in AI, and then if you really understand what AI is, what is the base for it, what are the prerequisites for it, and go from there. By learning AWS can get placed as a fresher. In US you can. In India I'm not really sure. So but you always can look out. Learning AWS is always good, because it's a cloud technology, and cloud is not going anywhere in the near future. Um, everyone's going to migrate. A lot of companies already did. Everyone's going to migrate to the cloud. And if you learn AWS, you can help one of those companies migrating to the cloud or building their own infrastructure. I would say just don't stop by learning AWS. Go into the um, basics of it, how the cloud works, how the cloud is built, how the cloud infrastructure is managed, and all that stuff. Then it should be really good. What should I get? What should I do to get in product-based companies get great packages? By doing MTech or masters or learning new technologies constantly, competitive programming, which is a better way to get into those companies. Never look for great packages. First thing, never ever look for great packages. If you really if you really look at doing what you like, great packages come. And if you really have the skills to do the work at that level, companies pay good amount of money by doing MTech or masters or whatever. So MTech or masters doesn't really matter. You can even apply from your third year of bachelor's if you have the right skills. The one thing I would always recommend is the second point that you mentioned, learning new technologies constantly and competitive programming. I used to read lots and lots of articles, technical articles, maybe the whole architecture. I really like system design. I really like architecting products. I really like architecting stuff. So even the position I'm in right now, I am heading to be a solutions architect one day, and and I hope I'll get there sometime. So based on your interests, read the articles about the things you like. Do competitive programming, I really recommend, and that's the only two things you need to do to get into the product based companies. And also, apart from all this, get essential life skills like talking to people, emailing people, messaging people, bugging people in a really nice way to give you opportunities. Getting those life skills is really important. No one will come to you and offer you any opportunities if you don't ask for. So
Okay, students. Now it is the time for to give vote of thanks of today's session. Now I request Professor K.V. Nagendra to give vote of thanks of today's program.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I'm Dr. Hi, SAITEJA. I'm Dr. K.V. Nagendra, Associate HOD Department of CSE. Good morning.
hi sir.
I'm very much thankful to you because you can elaborately explain career opportunities, how to choose the universities and visa process, pros and cons. I'm very much thankful to you. I hope all of my students are getting the knowledge from you, and I'm very much thankful to the director and management, sir, to provide this opportunity to our students. They will gain the knowledge from like your alumni students and whatever the things you are faced really, you can explain elaborately. And I am very much thankful to the two persons. First is Dean Academics, Rajesh sir, and Dean ICT, Mr. Sharma sir. I think these two people are working from last 10 days onwards how to get these alumni students, and more than 100 students they called daily while getting into the bus and getting down the bus, coming to the college. They are always discussing about student and catch like your students previously who are there in the abroad, and they are always thinking about they will give the good inputs through these are the alumni students to our present students. I'm very thankful to you, sir, for your great works, and I'm very much thankful to Sai Teja also, and he will elaborately explain the problems and how to apply for the masters. And thank you very much from Department of CSE. We are very much thankful to you. Thank you, Sai Teja.
Thank you, sir. No problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's my honor.
Sir, Prasad sir, can I? Hello? Prasad sir, can I close the session?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You can carry on.
So thanks everyone. I hope everyone reach their goals, get into the jobs they want, and succeed in their lives. Thank you so much. Bye.